Team's alright with me. Dream Team's alright. Oh, yeah. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy. This is Warn Dogs.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
Calvin.
He's still in the green vest.
Oh,
Calvin,
yes,
Coach
I am.
Combinators.
We're obviously to talk about a massive week in Dream Team because we're coming up against an opponent for the first time this week. So we want to be looking good. We want to have our teams fighting fit, ready to, obviously get off to a good start. 1-0 looks a bit better than 0-1.
It certainly does.
Boys, okay, we'll get straight into it. We'll have a bit of a look at what we got last round. I'll save the best for last. Calvin.
Something amazing happened with my score this week. We haven't actually discussed it.
I saw it on Twitter.
This is actual
I didn't see
fair
this on
dinkum,
Twitter.
no crap. 21-39 for the second week in a row.
What?
No joke.
Unbelievable.
I scored the exact same as I did in round one.
And did you go up or down because of
Down.
that? Down.
I dropped.
Your score last week was not as good.
Yeah,
overall.
well, Mumford and that, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I scored to the exact point as I did. I threw it out in Twitter land. Who else? A few guys the same, especially in Supercoach, there was quite a few similarities.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys who were like very close in the points. But yeah, 21-39 back to back.
Well done, mate.
Well played,
Great
Calvin.
consistency.
Thank you.
I had about 21-60.
You did.
And it was enough to move me up the rankings slightly. I think I'm at about 12,000 now. So
So par.
I think I jumped 12,000 spots.
What do you reckon par would have been this week then? About maybe 21-50?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, somewhere between 40 and 50, 60. No, not 60. Yeah, definitely. Probably just below 50.
Sweet. What about you down the other end there, Dave?
Oh, well, there's small steps to the Warn Dogs. I did actually crack 2,000 this week,
Well
which
done.
is not
That's
actually
That's
pretty
all
good.
you need to do.
Oh,
Keep
it was
moving on.
looking bloody dodgy too.
It was.
With Selwood going on and off the ground and all that sort of stuff.
I
But
hate
anyway,
Leeds.
yeah, his blood must be thinner than everyone else's.
No, his skin.
He has a
Skills.
bloody crack. He has
Bloody
a crack.
hell, he goes in.
He's a
Some may
superstar.
say too hard, Roy.
Yeah, no, he was amazing, and well, he kept at least a semi-smile on Warn Dog's face, didn't he? Because
I don't care.
trying to get anything out of him was like trying to get blood out of a stone.
It is.
It all starts this week though because it is head-to-heads are starting.
Oh.
And I'm taking on Destroy in the All-Stars.
Oh,
which I think
hello.
will be good.
So you're writing off your national ranking already
Yeah,
this
I
year?
don't give a shit about that.
You're just trying to win the
Who
league.
would?
I've never heard him say
What?
such a thing.
Why would you play this game for that? You're playing against your mates. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
only one person wins the car. I guess
Exactly.
that.
You're no chance. None of you are a chance to win it.
Oh.
No, they probably are, but
Wow.
not if you're languishing. I'm still top 50,000, so that's pretty good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Do you know what? The people,
Alright, this is so bad.
no, I could be slightly wrong here because sometimes I tune out, don't fully listen to what people are telling me.
You
However, I think the people that have won the last 2 years,
Yeah.
when they were in the first round 1 and 2, they were outside the top 50,000 as well.
Not 50.
Wasn't
30?
it?
Oh, 30.
Was it?
About 20 to 30.
Okay.
However, this year's different.
But I'm still a chance yours.
This year's different, though, I think,
Yep.
because...
We've made the competition tighter than it ever has been.
definitely.
So,
Yeah. Anyway.
Remember when it was just to get to 2,000 round 1 was like a marathon?
Yeah.
You're so pumped. Now if you're pushing out a 2-1, it's disappointing.
It is.
All right,
There's
I'll have
something
enough
wrong
of
with the
scores.
game.
Yep.
Here we go. This is the Golden Stubby, or new Golden Stubby. I had a crack at making that yesterday. Pretty
Looks
interesting process going about it. You soak the
Oh,
label
no,
off
it's
first.
not interesting.
You soak the label
Not
off,
interesting.
then you spray paint it.
It looks good,
Brilliant.
but
brilliant.
not interesting.
It's not real gold then.
Oh,
Gold plated, you'd call
Gold
it.
plated, yeah.
Yeah.
So the real one, the real golden one, that comes at the end of the year when we award it to the full on.
You want to get on with it?
Anyway, let's get on with it. We put a poll up yesterday for this. This will happen every Monday night now. I'll call for people on Twitter, so follow me at WarnieDT on Twitter.
What a shame.
This is a good way to do it. I'll get myself to 3,000 soon. And give me your nominations. I'll call for those after the games on Sunday. Then through that, have the votes, and we had a big battle, and it came down to pretty much the two guys, Magna and Ablett, were the dudes that were sitting on top, and they finished on, well, because of the way percentages work, same percent, 5 votes separated them at the end of the day,
You're joking.
and I'm quite happy with this. I would have been happy with either of them. My captain, Gary Ablett, is the round 2 winner of the Golden Stubby. So Well done, Gaz. You are an absolute superstar.
And,
I'm pumped with that.
yeah, thank you, Gary, because you're another reason Warndog, we could get something out of him this
Oh.
week. Because
Imagine if I had a shit captain.
I know.
Oh
I know.
my god, I don't even want to think about this anymore.
The Dave Meister just wrote, Bundy, look out, just like a real pirate.
All right, yeah, something different, boys.
Righto, we're getting into teams, and just before I do so, if you don't mind, that logo there that popped up on the screen,
Dog
animated.
Some of my best.
It was too. Well
It's a
done,
good thing
Warndog.
when you're
That
on
was the
holidays.
Most up and about I've seen him since Dreamtime started.
Yeah, that was good. At least he's got something he can cheer for as well.
Thanks.
Now,
Good balls,
Blockbuster, Friday night. It's kind of scary for Dream Team this game when you have two such good teams going head to head. You worry a little bit. However, I think the ones playing are good enough because it's Carlton versus Collingwood, and we have some absolute superstars in that game. The big ins and outs, Jamison and Dykes are back. I think the only real relevance that has is Bauer holds his spot.
Yeah.
A lot of people thinking about bringing Bauer in after going really well last week. Lots of talk also about his job security. So those two are back in. He's held his spot. He's doing all the right things to hold that spot. Start of the year, he wouldn't have been considered best 22. At the moment, he is.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thanks for that. So at the moment, he is. Maxi is back for Collingwood. The real DT relevance of that is that should free Heath Shaw up a little bit.
Will it though,
Yeah.
Roy?
Apparently, it will.
Not a sure thing though.
No, but so I'm throwing that out there that him back could increase Shaw's score.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Richmond versus Melbourne. Richmond, Morris and Ellis, our boys back there, have been named, and because they're playing Melbourne, we really need to think about putting them on the ground this week.
Yep.
For Melbourne, Grimesy, he's been very disappointing for owners, but he's named in the middle there again, and of course our boy Magnet is on the ball and
he's just awesome.
pushing out lazy hundreds.
Just on
at
Magnet
will.
before we go any further, will he be better than Barlow? Barlow averaged 110, didn't he?
No, he won't be.
But did Barlow play all the games?
No, he played about 10, so
What does he need to do to be better than Barlow?
Average over 100 and play all the games.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Lock it in. He'll do that.
well, it's definitely a chance. And I've got Port versus Swans. For Port, Robbie Gray is in. He's a big pre-season man, isn't he? Everyone always talks
loves
about Gray. And Ebert's named on the ball again, and he hasn't been a bad little unique pick for people that picked him after swapping from West Coast. So Ebert, he's going all right. For the Swans, the big news, especially for us three, this killed us last week, Mumford. Late withdrawal, he was out there warming up.
Yeah, stupid bloody group think.
Seabiscuit was out there playing in the Magoos, and they said, get off.
Yep.
Big Mummy's gone down. So Mumford's named. Apparently he got through training all right today and will play.
He played against someone who had Sandlands last week. So if
I
Ted
know.
had Sandlands
What a
and I
turnaround.
had Mumford, that could be like over 100 points.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah, because it meant that not only did we lose our gun, it meant bloody
Sandlands had probably
Sandlands got
20
to go
more
against
points. 20 more points than he should have, and we probably lost
50 minimum.
points.
Unbelievable. And there's a guy, I've been getting heaps of tweets today, Alex Johnson. He's been scoring quite well for the Swans.
Has
I
he?
think he's had an 80 and a 90. He's named in the back pocket. People are looking at him as a possible downgrade from your likes of Broughts and Shaw and Grimes.
Yep.
You know, those types of people.
Yep.
So that's about it for my teams, boys.
Cool. I got the next one. I got Freo and Brizzy. Duffy is in. A lot of people saying during the week that Duffy will miss. Well, apparently he's not.
Well,
he's
he went
there.
to hospital.
Still in there. And Mundy is back.
Yeah.
Mundy is back. Now, this is for Broughton owners. Guess where Broughton's named, though, Rob?
On the ball.
He's back on the
been
ball.
named there every
3 weeks
week.
in a row.
Broughton's back on the ball.
Oh!
With Mumford, not Mumford, with Mundy coming back in, people are saying, well, this will now free up Broughts. Don't get rid of him. Keep him. We'll talk about Broughts later, though.
Bloody
Okay, then.
hell.
Because that really is exact opposite to what I'm thinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, one thing with that, they've shown that they don't mind their stars being subs,
Yeah.
the Dockers.
You'd know, Submarine.
Yeah, so there's every chance Mundy will come back as that sub. I
Okay,
reckon.
right. And in the obviously Brisbane are
Periscope.
playing the game as well. What did you just do?
It was a periscope, like an extended.
Oh,
No, I don't know
shit.
what it was.
Jonathan Brown is back. Drummond is back, and he's another one that people are looking at the start of the year. And probably the big one there is Billy Longer is back, starting ruck for them with Leuenberger at full forward. So if you've got extra coin, maybe to turn Stevenson into Longer, it's probably
Yeah.
not a bad move. Will Longer be submarined? Submarine.
No way. He won't be submarined, and you wouldn't do that trade until you've seen him for a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And
Don't- he
Big
didn't
O's
go
still
to a
going to go
big-
up. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's only played the one game, though,
Yeah.
after being late.
Yeah.
Mm.
Next game, we've got the Bulldogs and the Saints. Very captain relevant game, but we'll talk about that later. Dixon.
Bloody
Dick
Tory.
Earl is out. He has
Dick
been
Earl.
missed out, which will kill a lot of teams. A lot of people will go Dixon to the mosquito bite. What's his name?
Malaria.
You like that?
I did.
Yeah, anyway, a
Sensational.
lot of people will do that, but I don't think it's a good move. But we'll talk about that later. And Clay Smith is still there, hanging on.
Yeah.
He's on the bench.
That is-
Marines.
Oh, really?
I've got a warning about him this week.
Who?
How would the submarine warning go?
Something like that. It can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's my submarine warning.
Oh, you just nudge me when you want me to do it.
All right, I will.
With this new fandangled technology, I reckon I could pop a little submarine up.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you
good.
got a warning.
That-
Not yet.
Can
Maybe
I have
another
my own
week.
button to press?
Yep.
Oh, I'll keep going.
Oh,
St Kilda.
sorry.
And the only relevant thing there is Clinton Jones plays his 100th game or 200th or something like that. He will most likely go to either Griffin or Boyd to tag. Last time he went to Griffin, Boyd went bananas. He was moved to Boyd in the second quarter. So who knows about that? In the last game I've got here I'm covering is, of course, Gold Coast and Essendon. No real relevant DT news there except for Heath Hocking is back.
Yep.
And he will 99% certain will tag Gary Ablett. But we'll talk about that one later on.
Sensational. All right. Oh, God, Adam. Yep. Gold Coast Essendon. I've got to listen a little bit more and actually click through these.
Yeah.
a bit
That's
better.
all right.
We need to
Just
produce-
leave
all right,
it.
we'll just
Relax,
leave
relax.
All right, so
Keep
that means
going.
we're into Warn Dogs games, which is GWS and West Coast there. Obviously, GWS is big for us to think about. Everyone we've all probably got a name. It is the Sunday squad, so that means that, extended bench and all that sort of stuff. The two outs at the moment, Nathan Wilson has been dropped and Dom Wilson is injured. Not sure what he did.
Dom Tyson.
Dom Tyson, sorry. What did I say?
Dom Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's both of them together. Anyway, they're out.
Dom.
Adam Treloar does come in, though, so a lot of us were thinking about him in the pre-season as that
Definitely.
mid-forward, so he's one to watch, and that might be a reason why, when we talk about our trades, to hold on to a couple. Like,
Yeah,
not,
hold on
not
to your
just
dick.
jump on. Hold on to your dick, for
Yeah,
example.
You want?
Wow.
What? That's something.
Yeah,
that was good.
that's brilliant.
It's not bad. I like that one.
Other ones there. Dean Brogan, once again, has been named. He's on the ball this time. So, Gilesy.
Oh, no concern there.
No. But what does that mean about Giles?
Yeah, there's massive concern there. There's no submarine.
Yeah,
I'm
because
right.
he is.
Did you think I bumped
Giles.
you? Did you take that yourself?
Hey, I got a bump.
I didn't mean to bump you.
This is the week.
I'll
This is the
double
week
tap.
where we're all probably worrying about this for Giles. He going the 1-3 ruck combo.
Yeah.
That we're starting on the ground. He's up against Nick Nat and bloody Big Dean, so going to be tough. But he has got Brogan there, so points are going to be down 50 from him this week.
Do you know what though?
What?
I know against the West Coast, he's not going to. They're not going to get it forward and that very often, but he has some of the best hands in that team.
Yeah.
He is just amazing. Even on the ground, he's good.
Yeah.
So he will still get you 70.
Right. Okay.
So don't
All right.
panic.
Some interesting ones for the West Coast Eagles is that Embley done his shoulder. Darren Glass has a groin, which I think is just a general groin soreness thing.
Are you going to cover any relevant stuff?
Well, Pritis, he is relevant.
Yeah.
Do you think he's relevant?
It is
Quite
now.
a few people probably would have him. He's out with a quad. So, the things. Kobe Stevens gets a run on the extended bench.
Yep.
So he might be another one to keep on the radar to come in the next few weeks.
Do you know what this shows about West Coast?
What?
Very happy to rest players
Mm.
this early in the season.
And name up injuries that aren't really there.
Yeah, so that's basically confirming that Dean Cox will rest throughout the year.
Definitely.
Right. Fantastic. Right, let's go into the middle game at Sunday Arvo, and that is Hawthorn and Adelaide. Probably not a hell of a lot of things there. No, there isn't, to be honest. Isaac Smith is out with a back. If he was a mid-forward, I'd probably have him. He started off pretty well this year. Adelaide, Sam Shaw. He makes the
Kerridge.
Extended bench along with Sam Kerridge. So, couple more to look at. Douglas is out with a hamstring, but that's about all we've got to worry about with that. Into the next game, which...
So Richard Douglas is a bit of a tagger too.
Yeah.
And he's out, so it might free up the likes of my boy Sammy Mitch.
One there, yeah. Hodges not back in yet either.
No.
I thought he might have been.
Amazing.
North Melbourne and Geelong is the last game of the round, and Jack Siebel comes back. Some people were talking about going with him because he will improve in Dream Team this year. There's no doubt about it. So,
if you don't believe that, go and have a look at his last 6 games.
Yeah.
Apart from an injury, he was averaging over 100, I think.
And he's on
so
that
if
new.
you stuffed up a mid-pricer, he
Yeah.
could be an option to go.
And he's
to
on that
in
new
midfield.
Fox ad too.
Oh, does that make
He
him
looks.
good?
Well, he looks switched on.
Yeah. For Geelong, that Haaland Smith, he comes in. He's just on the extended bench, but sitting there also with Billy Smets. He'll be an interesting one. Any little signals for that one, Billy? It's
Not
tough
as
to
yet.
call on a bloody Sunday
know.
on an afternoon game where the extended bench
I
is
know.
there.
I did that last week too.
Yeah.
Success rate, minimal judging by my tweets. that I
No.
received.
How many did you actually get right?
I don't know. I didn't count.
Oh,
I
right.
would have been pretty good though.
Yeah, you got the first 2 in the first game.
Yeah, I know. I was off to a flyer.
You were, yeah.
All right. Grab a hat.
Wow, that was quick.
That was a good
Oh.
intro too.
Yeah,
Another good one.
Cut the
Another good
photo
one.
wash.
Captain.
Master
Oh,
Bates and all those others. So that was cool.
copyright.
Right, what do you want to know?
What do we want to, well, who should we pick as captain this week?
I tell you the thing.
We did
got
read
2
your
options.
article,
You've got 2 options. Did you read the article this week?
though. Not really.
I know you
was too
read it
busy.
either. Yeah, I know. I was busy.
I read it.
Did you?
It was good.
Good. Thanks, Roy. You got 2 options: Boyd or Ablett.
Yep.
Now, if you've got only one of them, then pick that one. But if you have to choose between the 2, here's some pros and cons. Let's talk about Ablett first.
Okay.
Pros. His average in his last 3 games at Metricon is 142.
That's nasty.
Absolutely rips it to bits. Okay, and that's coming off the 141 he had last week, which got him the golden stump. He is in flying form. He's had over 40 touches in his last 2 games, or his first 2 games this year.
Yeah.
Form, brilliant. Ground, brilliant. Everything's great. The negative for Ablett is he had his lowest score, except that one where he got injured last year, against Essendon, of course, last year.
Right.
He had 81.
Right.
Right? That game, he was tagged by Heath Hocking. He still knocked up 30 touches, but only scored 81 points. That's a negative. It's a fact. People go, oh, Kilton, will you go back? Yeah, of course he will. But that is a fact. The other fact in this game is Essendon have only given up 2 100-plus scores in their first 2 games. Okay, they've only played a couple of dud teams, but they are restricting them. Now, last time I checked, the Suns were a dud team. Right?
Yeah.
Only 1 or 2 players are going to crack 100. One of them has to be Gary, just like he did against the Saints. And surely, I've predicted him at a 139. Just ahead of my mate Boyd.
Right.
So Boydie in there at number 2.
Boyd's at number 2, so
I like him.
I like him a lot. And this is why. He had 143 last time he played the Saints.
Yeah.
He's back at Etihad, which is his favourite ground by an absolute truckload, where he's averaged, a lowest score of 115 in his last 4 there. Right? And that probably doesn't even do it justice of what he can do at that ground. He's actually predicted by the assistant coach thingy to be the highest scorer this week.
Really?
Right? It's just ridiculous. So,
Right. He ticks a lot of boxes then by the sound of
you
it.
did read the article.
Thought I told you.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the concern there is, of course, Clinton Jones will tag him, and he'll tag him hard like he did Ablett. Ablett struggled to half-time last week.
He did.
He had 50 points at the half, or 51, or something like that.
You're only as good as your last half, I say.
Yep, and
He's coming off
God,
90.
A 90-point half. So, at the end of the day for me, if I'm tossing a coin, I hope it lands on Ablett. But if it lands on a Boyd, I would be pretty happy with it.
Now, Calvin,
Yes.
I've got both. I'd like to...
Oh, brag.
I think I'd like to go with Ablett. What happens, though,
Yep.
if Boyd scores 5 more points than him?
Oh, my God. I'll hear about it. Don't you worry about that.
I told you.
Calvin, what would you do it? Oh, God. There are some absolute mongos out there.
See,
Do people understand that's only 5 points, not 10?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't get that
No,
still,
they
do
don't.
they?
But then what happens, I was considering going Preston Giacomo this week.
Yep.
What, he might have 120 this week
Yeah.
and be better than Boyd and Ablett.
Well, it's called a stab in the dark.
Is it? Right.
It's called an uneducated guess.
Because what's his past been like?
Who?
Presty.
No good.
No good. Oh, right. So like Boyd last week.
Oh,
Apparently he was no good.
Thing is with Boyd, let's just quickly cover Boyd from last week.
Oh, by the way, that's the new Boyd, isn't it?
Oh,
Boyd.
yeah.
Boyd. Show him Cox then.
That's Cox.
We'll talk about that later. That's coming on the Calvin's Captain Special Edition.
Oh, excellent.
We're going to pre-record it.
Oh, good work. That's a preview.
Maybe green screen.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, so Boyd.
Hey,
Let's look at Boyd. He played the Crows 5 times in a row. Didn't get 100, didn't get 100, didn't get 100, didn't get 100, didn't get 100. At some point, he was going to get 100, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you've already given these people too much time on our show.
Right,
Exactly.
The only other thing I want to quickly cover, Essendon against the Gold Coast. A couple of great options there in Watson and Stanton, who slotted at number 3 on the list. He's been smashing it. Though they're all good picks. People going, oh, why haven't you gone Jobe? I went Jobe once, and he did a friggin' hammy, and I haven't forgiven him.
Tell you who else will probably go nuts. Patrick Ryder, just on form.
Yep.
You wouldn't do it because there's so many guns out there, but Ryder will be awesome this week.
So anyway,
Bang, bang. All right, too easy.
So you'll definitely go Ablett over Boyd.
It's like a boomerang, Roy. I will definitely be going Ablett over Boyd.
Yep, sweet.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm going Ablett
Good.
over Boyd.
What about
Ablett
you?
over Boyd.
Oh, good on you, Greenie.
All right, Calvin, remove your hat. I don't have a little intro for this, though.
Oh.
We're going to talk about some trades.
Oh, excellent, because this is what my Twitter account has been going off for all trade talk.
Crazy?
And also the people that emailed me for the assistant coach article
Yep.
this week. All the questions, trade.
Right.
So people that, especially, last week they managed to hold off.
Yep,
That
resisted the
burning,
temptation.
even with the old, you can trade as much as you like and then reverse it. They want it confirmed.
Yeah.
People want a trade confirmed, and there was lots and lots of talk. There's lots of different opinions on whether you should trade this week. Some people say, some of the pros say, nah, don't touch it till round 5. Others say, well, if you've got blatantly obvious mistakes there, they might be mistakes through role changes, they might be mistakes through missing a rookie, which anyone can miss. Good rookies. Then how can you just say wait till round 5 if you've missed?
Can I just jump in? I think we need to define what a mistake is.
Right, yes.
Okay, let's cover a couple of things. Is Broughton a mistake?
No.
Yes. You picked him as a midfielder.
Okay. He goes into the role change.
He's a tough
So
one.
it's not your mistake. It's his mistake. He's not playing where
we need to rank the mistakes a little bit. I think the biggest mistake is the guys you didn't get that you should have got. This is purely about cash.
Good
It's
point.
not about their points.
Magna.
And that's what we've got to think about. It's purely about the things. So in the back line, there's probably not anyone that you had to have. Marty
Deledio.
Clark. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, Deledio. I'm just thinking rookies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Marty
Marty's
Clark's probably
definitely.
the big one that we should have all had at the start. If you didn't have him, jump on him, try to get him.
But even
Bug,
Morris,
potentially.
Ellis and Bug, they've been pretty solid.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Take away their first game.
But there's no whoa, you need to.
But
definitely.
midfield, we've got a couple of options there that you definitely need. Obviously, Magna, the Golden Stubby runner-up for this week.
He is
who
a
will
must
win
have.
one, so.
If you do not have Magna, you need to get that.
Whatever you're doing, and even if you're if you've got, and this is an interesting thing too, even if you've got guys that are playing in your midfield, you're gonna have to ditch the worst of them
to get him.
Like if you had Dylan Shew and you're going, he's the worst one I've got. See you later.
His job security is that good. He's actually leading their best and fairest, I reckon. And
you're dead right.
And he's knocking up 100 for someone that costs under 90 grand.
Yeah,
it's
85,
just ticks that many boxes. That if you do not have him, unlucky, silly mistake. And if you actually followed some advice on some competition websites, you wouldn't have had Magna because he was a bunny, and we were bagged out for saying
no, we weren't.
Magna the magnet, get on him. He's our boy, blah, blah, blah.
He's our boy.
They said Magna's a hack and probably won't be a regular. I'm not going to name names. I'm just going to say
I feel sick.
It was out there and it was publicised, and we were bagged out for saying.
We were bagged out.
If you followed that advice and don't have him,
eat a boy.
Well, then you'll probably also follow the other advice that says to wait for 5 weeks. So I don't know. Maybe listen to us this time and get him in.
Let's cover
just to keep going. Other ones, any other midfielders where you've got Adam Kennedy. I think he's a must-have. as a
mid.
forward mid.
Yeah.
Green is obviously on everyone's radar.
Yeah, wow. He's been good.
He's on a line. Like, at what point do you actually have to jump on him?
I know.
And that's an interesting call.
If you had a
Cogs.
midfielder that wasn't getting a game,
Yep.
I would do it.
Mhm.
A lot of people talking about Canelio. Don't forget how good Cogs is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the thing. You might not have seen that much of him. He is bloody good.
Yeah. He'll be right. And that's the thing. That's what I think. I think he'll be right. Back him in.
Okay.
His job security, and we've got this argument that Green's job security is not that good. I think it is. But Cogs is not going to miss a game.
Yep. I'm going to throw some... the category's got to be called He'll Be Right. Which players out there are underperforming, but at the end of the day, he'll be right. Don't trade.
Swanee?
Swanee. We've had this chat.
Oh, look at Gowers.
Oh, look at Green Vest over there. Who doesn't have him?
He came into my house this afternoon and said, right, Swan's going.
No, I didn't.
He did.
I didn't.
I've got to
wasn't
get rid
here
of
for
Swan. I've got to get rid of Swan.
No, I didn't.
It's Swanee. It's going to your
I didn't
head.
say
it's
it.
going to your head, the trading thing.
He'll be right.
I know.
He'll be right. Right, he'll be right. And I'm not touching Swanee.
People will be able to pick him up a little bit cheaper, but that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. I've got another one. Dustin Martin.
He'll be right.
He'll be
He
right.
will be right, but he's bloody pissing everyone
But you know
off.
why he'll be right? He's played Collingwood and Carlton.
Yeah, and he's
The two-
played 20 years old. Remember
Some of
that.
the hardest teams to score on, and now they're going to have a bit more of a cruisy run.
Yeah.
Like this week, he's got Melbourne. For those who want to trade him, go for it. He'll whack up 100
Yeah.
this week and slap you back in the face.
Yeah,
He'll bust some
definitely-
big scores.
Yeah.
Too.
Dusty's definitely been in the frustration
So-
category, but to even consider trading him out, and
So-
lots of people are thinking about it.
He'll be right. What about Grimes? Is he a he'll be right, dog?
Yes. My strategy...
Really?
Yeah,
You love Grimes.
I do. And I've got these unhealthy bloody obsessions with these guys that I think are one day going to be Dream Team superstars. And my problem is that I actually don't want to miss them when they have their big year.
Right.
Hence having all these mongoloids in my team at the moment.
I watched-
Broughton and Grimes, the two of them sitting
I
there.
watched the Simpsons episode this morning with Frank Grimes.
Oh, yeah,
You seen that one?
Yeah, Grimey Grimes.
Thought of you and had a little giggle.
He died too.
Did he? Oh, he
Don't
does
say
too.
that about Grimes. He bloody
He just about does every
hurts
bloody
himself
weekend
all the
out there.
time. Righto, next
Good.
player.
Well, the thing is, you guys both have Broughton.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
No more bets.
You're
I mean,
you're sticking with it.
I just think and this is a big part about this year for me, is thinking the trades. Like it goes against the trading premium rule that you try to have.
Yeah.
You know, there's a point where you go, got to get rid of him. I held on to him last year, quite happy through that middle patch with him.
You did.
But
He repaid you.
yeah, but then he fell off at the
He
end.
did.
But you know, it's a really really tough call. But again, I just think this year we've got 23 rounds, 24 trades, those big buy rounds, all that sort of stuff. More resting because of GWS and Gold Coast. I think I'm just going to hold trades. So because it's all about the league win for me. I want to have trades at the end.
Now, what about you? You got Broughton there,
I
Ryan?
do
What are you
have
going to do?
Broughton, and in the last couple of days scramble of my team, I actually lost one of my favourite players and kept Broughton. So I lost Bo Waters
Yep.
and kept Broughton. So that was basically a 50-50 between those two.
Yep.
Waters has been going really well.
Yep.
Broughton has been pathetic. It's a $80,000 cash grab.
it's a
I
perfect-
think I'm going to get rid of him. Broughton frustrates the hell out of me. He costs me sleep.
Yeah,
So
he
my
does.
health is,
Yep.
being affected. And I watched Broughton really closely those first two games, and he was actually getting a run on the ball. People are saying he was locked down back pocket the whole time.
No.
It is not the whole time. He has been on the ball as well. In that game where, yes, you're on Steve Johnson. That's
Yep.
a tough gig. Your main job is to keep it off him.
Yep.
He also had plenty of opportunities where he was open, and he froze at the end of that game. Something shocking.
So what are you doing with Broughton?
Getting rid of him for someone that doesn't mind actually touching
Anyone in mind?
Waters.
You got your both of back.
Yeah, both back.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's for me. It's my Heath Shaw headache. My head's your
Well,
headache is
will
bad
he,
from every
will he
year.
sure bounce back?
Probably at some point.
Yep, but you don't think so.
No, I don't.
Mm.
Not in the next 4 to 5 weeks. I don't think it will. So for me, he will go. And at this point, Love
You're the reason I've got him as well.
Love to get him to Goddard if I possibly can, but at this stage, probably straight swapping to Carrots. But I'm still very up in the air.
Isn't it funny that two of the players he's brought up are ones that he talked us into having
Which ones?
in the last couple of days?
No.
Swan and Shaw.
Oh, you're going to love Swan now?
But they were nowhere to be seen, and now you're
You were
trying to
walking
tell
in
us to
trying to
trade.
trade.
Not trading.
Right, can I throw a name out there? Mitch Golby.
Oh, great one. Lots of tweets
Mitch
about
Golby,
goals.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's going off in the chat as well.
Yeah. Okay, can I give my
Go,
little
because
thing
you're the man
about
that
Golby?
knows all about him.
Well,
You're like our little Brisbane expert, actually.
Well, yeah, Golby, he is a good player and a ball winner. However, well, similar to Broughton, who I just hacked on, his role has not looked like what it was in the preseason. So Golby and Broughton, their roles have changed. Something interesting here, Drummond back.
Yeah.
That's probably really bad for Golby. So that'll be no sort of rebounding role, will it? So, who else is back? Actually, Black is out.
Yeah.
So does that create more midfield time for Golby, I thought? And then I thought, no, Rockcliffe just goes and takes all that back up because he hasn't been in the midfield that much. So Golby, expect much of the same, I think. If you're not happy with that, he might have to go.
Right, for sure. For
What?
shizzle.
You can't trade him for sure.
Yeah, I'm trading. Oh, if I had him, I'd trade him.
Oh, Golby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have picked him to start.
You meant
today.
for sure.
But you said trade him for sure.
Yeah, trade him for sure. He's going to be good.
And then they'll have to
Sure's
trade him.
going to be awesome.
So you have...
You can trade Sure
Hang
out
on.
for someone
You-
and then trade Golby for Sure.
Hang on. So you have Shaw,
Yeah.
Grimes,
Yeah.
Broughton.
Yeah. And a green vest. That's why.
Green vest.
That is why.
It's got to be getting close to Twitter time, dog.
It is very close to Twitter time. Let's
Woo.
do a little bit of clicking here and boom shakalaka.
Oh,
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
So
well,
your
sure.
boom shakalaka, did that come through?
I don't know.
Because that's a good
There's
sound for
no
it.
noise coming through with
Right.
that. That's a little bit of a...
Give us some Twitters to answer, dog.
Right, Calvin, you can look over there on the screen. So
Okay.
let's get ourselves going, mate.
All right, I'll just scroll down there. Will Marty Clark play a full game? Of course he will.
Yes.
Well,
I don't
okay.
think he's really too much in doubt for a subbing.
Yeah, no. Submarine would agree there. He's pretty safe.
Here's one. We've already answered this from Hawker at Hawker68. 24 hours to choose. Broughton, hold or get him out. Golby, hold or get him out. I think we're saying get rid of both of them at this point.
Who, if you were going to only get rid of one, who would it
Yeah,
be?
that's a
Golby
good
for me.
Golby for me. At least Broughton has potential to get a kick.
Yeah, Golby out.
What about this one here?
This is from Adrian. Canelio to Green and Dixon to Kennedy. Boom! He's pretty happy about it.
He is, and he probably should be. I think.
Good trades.
Oh, especially to get Dixon to Kennedy. That's a
How much is
That's
Kennedy?
He's a little bit more.
a
wasn't
little
he?
bit more, about probably only $6,000, maybe a 104. Dick Oles about 98.
Yeah, and that definitely strengthens your team. So that's looking at a long-term approach, not just a quick points grab. And the reality is, Green, as much as we don't say just chase a quick cash grab, like the slow building cows are good as well. Green is going to provide a pretty big quick hit.
I've got a great one.
Imagine if he backs up with another 80 this week.
I've got a great one here from
It's a lot of
Scotty.
money.
Scotty says, no Tom Couch. What does he have to do, Roy?
I actually don't know what he has to do
No.
because for him not to be in is ridiculous. They always talk about how he's real in and under and all that type of stuff. And he's been racking up, like you can't just go with Dream Team points, but he's racking up hundreds in the
Yeah.
VFL. Not many of the actual Melbourne team could go back and do that. So he's getting his hands on it. That's half their problem. I don't know what he has to do to get in. I'm actually quite concerned for people that did put him in week one.
He could potentially be that guy who sits there, who's worth nothing, who just holds his spot all year. He might pop in for 2 or 3 games, but not much else. Like Melbourne swung the axe today and knocked out a lot of good players. He still can't even make the emergency list.
He's got to get in now in front of Brad Green and Ricky Pettard.
Joel McDonald. There's a whole list of them,
There is.
and he's not there. So I don't know what he can do.
I thought this was the week. I don't know. I think he's going to be a really handy downgrade now for everyone else.
Mm.
And like halfway through the year.
Got another one here for you. Bug to play in the centre, good or bad, I think also the second part of that question is, of course, Bug playing against the Eagles.
Yeah.
So who do you put on your field there out of your GWS boys or your Richmond boys
This is a great
who
discussion
play against
point.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get you
Take it
guys
away.
to rank them. So we've got Morris,
Yep.
Ellis,
Buggy,
and the Bug. This is
your back
this
line
is
of
for
opponent.
most people.
Can I chuck in?
Most people will need one
One.
out of two, one out of the three minimum.
Who's your number
Some
one?
people like you would probably need two out of them.
I need the two, yeah.
Bug scored the most out of them all so far.
Yep.
He had that 98 or whatever
Yep.
it was.
And he's playing West Coast.
Yep. Morris had a 75 last week against
So
Collingwood.
he's in form. Yep.
Ellis has been pretty much a 50 both games.
Yeah. Yeah, about
Yeah.
that.
I'll go Morris first. Where's Morris named, Calvin?
Back pocket.
Back pocket. Where was Ellis named?
Back flank.
Back flank. Bug in the guts.
Far out. This is a tough call.
It's a very
Everything.
tough call.
It was already hard enough, and then Bugs thrown in.
Be interesting. Chuck it out there to our chat room. What order would you be putting Morris, Ellis, and Bug? Rank them for us. Chuck it on there, and well, let's go around. Let's put your balls on the line, dog. Right, 3, 2, 1 next to them, ads, and we'll see what we decide. Go.
Morris, Bug, Ellis. Morris, Bug, Ellis. I like Morris.
Right.
Bit older, bigger body.
Against Melbourne.
It's against Melbourne too.
All right, I'm going.
Because he had a bit of time on the
I'm
wing.
going.
Where?
On the wing.
Did
Morris. Yeah, I saw his little... He's a real albino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was he up on the
Yeah.
running up the ground a bit? Oh,
Twainy makes a good point. Twainy makes a great point there. Bug will most likely tag like he did last week.
Yeah.
So who's he going to run with from West Coast?
Yeah.
No
Plenty of
Prentice.
No, probably Kerr or Scott Selwood.
Yeah. So
Scott,
It's
the
a
one
good
that's
call.
dominating at the moment.
Yeah, he's had good numbers.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
I will go.
Recently tagged though, hasn't he?
My pick
No,
as
he's
done
doesn't.
that. Yeah.
write it down. I'm
Yeah,
going.
not this year.
I'm going.
Massive breakout.
I'm going. Ellis, Bug, Morris.
Nice.
Morris, Bug, Ellis. Someone just agreed with me there in the chat. Morris, Bug, Ellis. Oh, they just copy me.
Bug, Ellis, Morris. That guy there's pretty happy that Twainy said something intelligent. Well, Twainy seems to be doing all right in
There's
that, right?
mine, and I think it was exactly the same as someone just said there. I'm going Bug, Ellis, Morris.
All right,
Add those up
there.
now, Eds, and we'll
I
see.
will do.
6, 6, 6. You bull.
It's the devil.
Nah.
Oh.
7 to stop one.
You had it out for you, moron. Oh my god.
Oh, the devil. It possessed me.
School teacher is just struggling a bit.
No, I did the wrong columns.
Yeah, I know.
Beers does that, man.
6 and 5. So we say.
Thanks, I wasn't.
So we're
struggling
actually
towards the
going
end there.
Bug,
Ellis Morris.
Bug,
Can't
Ellis,
believe I
Morris.
did that. I added up 3, 2, 1, 3.
Is the DT talk?
Wow.
The DT talk final answer here is Bug, Ellis, and then Morris.
Wow.
Wow, who would have thought? Complete opposite to what you said, dog. Hashtag Greenfest. So
Yeah, don't listen to me. Now, a question, and this has come on the tweets over the week. How do we do this dual position trades? Okay, I did write a really, really good little trading bloody thing last week to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
How it works. All right, stick with me, and I'm going to make up these names and make it all happen.
right,
Holy hat.
go.
All right.
Here a while.
For example, I've got Cornelio in the midfield.
You've lost me.
I'm sick of him. I want to get rid of him. This is not a real example. Cornelio's gone. All right. What I'm going to do is trade him out. But then in my forward line, I've got Adam Kennedy sitting there. I've got him there. So because he's a mid forward, I can then on the side of the screen click him in, click the sub button, then he goes into the slot that Cornelio was in. Therefore, I've got a forward slot open, and I could get in Malaria, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm basically doing is trading a pure mid in Cornelio for a pure forward in Malaria. That's not a great example because I wouldn't encourage anyone to do that, but that's something that you could do, and there's some things you can think about. Works the other way as well. So if you've got
Can I give
a
you
dual
a good
position mid, yeah, go Roy.
one? Right, here's a good one that you might like to do. You've got Kennedy in your midfield, all right? Tory Dixon
Tico.
has not been named. He has been dropped. So you can trade out Tory Dixon, all right? Empty spot. You can put Kennedy in there
Yep.
into that forward spot. You are left with a vacant midfield spot, Hello, Magna.
Greenville.
Hello, Greendale.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
I think the trick there is where people get confused is, because I've done this as well, you go into it and you've got your two options to do two at once, but then it says, now you must pick a defender. But on the side, you actually have to switch them yourself. Am I right, dog?
Yeah, so on the side, it's
Yeah.
got a little S button. If you can
Yep.
sub them, little S button comes up next to them, and then they'll be able to
Yeah,
move
so
into
you
the
need
red
to
slot.
sub it before you
Yeah.
buy.
And yeah, that's right, because it's a whole new screen. You go into that. Have you not had a crack at it yet?
I had a look at it this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And I looked at it and I was like, I don't want to pick a defender
good.
there. I want
It's pretty
a
good.
mid. Oh, but then I was like, oh, okay. And then I had to switch it myself. Yes, you got to switch it yourself on the side. Woo! All right.
All right, any other
Oh, just
last minute tweets
yeah,
coming in?
a lot of people are asking about Malaria.
Yeah.
Is he a legit person to be switching for Dixon? Or is he just a two-game wonder?
You were tempted. When I got here today, you were tempted.
At 85, you're not going to get 85 average from him.
No.
Who's he played?
St Kilda have played Port and Gold Coast.
Yeah.
He's going to have games where people go, oh, yeah, he'll keep that up, and they'll put him on and he'll score like 30 or 20. You know what I mean? He's a small forward. And some games as well, he's got to get, I don't know, will he be subbed right?
He'll definitely be subbed.
So, I forgot how I did the noise.
Yeah, so, I don't know. So you're saying not worth the hype?
I don't think he's worth the hype at all. I think he's had a couple of good games against some pretty crap teams, and yeah, he's better than Dixon because at least he's playing, but
And is he worth the trade then? That's
no,
all the
and
questions
that's
coming
what
through.
we've talked about earlier. We're going to hold Dixon, sit him there, wait and watch what Treloar does in his first couple of games, and then he'll be the guy that we get. We're not going to rush just to grab Malaria just for the sake of it.
I may.
Warren Dog still mine.
I might do that.
Hashtag Green Best.
Hashtag bloody League Premiers 2012.
Yeah, that's sad. I can't believe you switched so.
Well, we're still technically in pre-season for the league, so don't get too excited because next week we're not fucking beating you.
Everyone's-
Excuse the language. You're going to be all down and grubby again. So don't
anyway.
just
So
don't
let's-
put all your eggs in one
I
basket.
don't know, but
That's all I'm saying.
against you two playing against each other here, what odds? I've just checked Cowbet, and there's a line. There's a line of 120.
Right. Can we take that and Roy gets the vest?
The line.
No, there's
Yeah.
no lines.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Wow.
Roy gets the vest.
no way. I've barely beaten you both weeks.
Oh, bullshit. You
No,
got me
I
by
haven't.
100 plus
See,
every
that's
week.
how. No, I haven't. That's how close you are to. Well, not that I'm at the high and mighty 12 grand. You're only a little bit away from that.
Samson wants to know. I think it says, yeah, Samson wants to know how your dad's team's going for you.
Bob seems doing better. I've got a couple of better teams than mine at the moment. I wish there was a way to edit it. Like, I could turn it into
Swap
saying Warney's dad, saying Warren Dogs, Coach Warney,
Yeah.
and then sub it into
Yeah,
our
Yeah,
league.
it'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Now
No.
that we work for Virtual Sports, I might be able to manage that.
Yeah. See what you can do.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll do us.
Yeah,
Boys,
we're done.
I've had enough.
Yeah, you have.
I've had enough of copping a freaking shellacking from you.
Oh,
mate.
come on. We went pretty easy on you.
We did, actually.
I expect. Oh, no. I probably won't have to go through the same thing. Don't.
No, you won't.
Take the line. Take the line.
But what happens in return? Like, okay, you offer him a line of 120.
I'll wear two vests.
No. You've got to do something on the show next week. Go get a tattoo. No.
No.
Uncle Jimmy's Brew.
No, he's got to do something. No hat.
We will think about it.
No hat. Green vest and no hat next week.
Green swimming
Can't do
cap.
that.
Green swimming. Yep. No,
All right.
but the line's not 120. I'm
No.
lowering the line to 100 even.
Nah, gotta be more than that.
How
What?
confident
That's
are
got
you?
to be 100. I won't even beat you, probably.
The line's 100.
All right, line 100, and I'll wear a green swimming cap.
Okay.
But if I lose, then you
Okay.
got the vest. Even
All right.
if you beat me.
Yeah.
But
Less than
line
100.
of 100.
Yeah, all right.
But what happens if this Mongo gets 1,800 this week?
Mate,
Unlucky.
have a look at my team.
He's got to wear. No.
Shite.
No.
His team's good. His team's good.
Back to old school. Why are we offering you lines to get you out of that bloody thing? Sucked in, wear it, get your team better. See you next week.
See ya.